Wisconsin, woo! And Jewel School is taking over Bead Fest, and we've got Bead Fest, Yarn Fest, Stitch Fest, all under the Interweave umbrella. So we are here, Crazy Fest, Fun Fest, all the fests. And I have the wonderful Mr. Wyatt White from Beadalon here with me today. And we're already having too much fun. So if I get tickled,
it's our job today.
It's just
fun.
I'm sorry, I can hear this. Hold on, let me turn it down. It's weird. Yeah, so we have a great show for you guys today. We've got a lot of mandrels, which I know you guys all are excited to see. We're going to do some demos. Wyatt might teach me a thing or two. I probably won't teach him anything because he knows everything already. But I'm here for the education. So. Let's see, if you're streaming, you can follow us on, we're streaming right now live on the Jewel School Facebook page, the JTV Extra Facebook page, jtv.com/extra, and the Jewel School YouTube. So you can't not find us. So there's no excuses to not be watching. Let's see, so we've got, what else do we have? So we have, and then don't forget, when we finish, we're gonna Skype in with Sara Lovecraft, and she's gonna do some really awesome demos. She's an amazing designer. We love Sara, and she is gonna show us a thing or two. So let's get started. Let's see.
And we have shows tomorrow.
Yeah, we do have shows tomorrow. I was gonna talk about that at the end, but
sorry.
No. We can go over it at the end too. So tomorrow at 11:30 we have a panel interview with some different makers from all the different fests. So we'll be answering questions, getting to know you guys a little bit, and then we're taking over Bead Fest, Yarn Fest, Stitch Fest again for another really awesome show, and we're going to have Robert with us, who's another JTV host who is a lot of fun. Both days we're going to have awesome demos and awesome giveaways too. We're giving away gift cards, grab bags, things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then I'm going to do a live demo on stage at 1:30. I'm going to do a little leather and pearl demo for you guys, and then at 2:30, which is going to be the most fun, we have our Rockstar Designer Challenge. And so there's going to be 3 teams, and I think we're team captains, and then Tammy's a team captain, but you can enter to be on the team. And so we're gonna and then we're gonna have these, it's gonna be like a mystery. We don't know what we're gonna have to make something. And so we're gonna have a little competition. We're gonna be able to use our creativity and work with each other. And we're probably gonna have to sit on our hands. But it's gonna be fun, and it'll be a nice challenge for everyone. So that's what we've got planned for you guys. And for those of you who are following along on streaming, don't forget that you can always shop the show. Everything in this show and any of the shows in the next 2 days is an additional 15% off. So if you're interested in getting anything, we've got some great values for you guys. And if you're following along on any of these streaming, any of our streaming platforms, just say hello, let us know you're watching, and tell us where you're from. We'd love to give you a shout out or answer any questions. We're going to take questions from the audience and from our streaming applications, so don't hesitate to reach out and ask us any questions. So
hit the hearts.
Oh
too.
yeah, and give us some likes.
Love.
Hearts of love. I'm trying to get the Jewel School pulled up. I'm not seeing it yet, but I am technologically challenged sometimes.
You can be the first to start a chat as well. Just hit the button and go to the chat.
Oh yeah, so down on the app on jtv.com/extra, down at the bottom, it says be the first to comment, and you enter your name, and then you can start asking questions. And then on the Facebook, it's super easy. Just below the video, like you're writing a comment, just ask your question on there. And I'll be monitoring the Jewel School Facebook page and jtv.com/extra. So I'll be able to see any questions or anything on there. So, shall we get started?
We should.
All right. Mr. Wyatt White is a master jewelry maker, so I'm super excited to see what he has made for us, and he's going to talk to us about a lot of Beadalon products that really kind of elevate your jewelry making and have been essential to my jewelry making career.
Thank you. That's great.
All right.
So one of the things that I have always had a problem with is when you're trying to make a ring, you need to size it. You need to be able to size the person you're making it for, and if they happen not to be there, they need to tell you the size. Sometimes
if they know their size.
Right, if they know their size. If this fits them correctly, these always didn't match up with these. But the first product we have today, it does match up. So you just find one of these rings. This happens to be a 12. Put it on this ring stick and boom, right to 12.
Right to 12.
So this particular item makes it very easy for you to be able to make the size ring that you want. You can size them out and then make it on the stick. One of the other things that we also have today is this guy. It weighs like 8 or 9 pounds. And ooh. That was trying to take a ride down to the river.
Like we were going to go over the table with it.
So this thing weighs like 6 or 7 pounds. You can hear how hefty it is. And all you do is lay this into here. You can see your sizes and then start working your rings. That way it leaves both your hands free to be able to do your work.
I don't know if you've ever worked with a mandrel, but without a stand, I end up, or unless you have like a really strong vise, I put it between my knees.
Yep.
And work like that. I can't tell you how many times I've dropped my mandrels on my feet. It's really hard to hold on to. It's, you know, my knees, I don't have that great of a grip. I guess I need to work on my thigh muscles or something, but it's really hard to hold on to, and it just makes wire wrapping more difficult. So when you have something really sturdy like this stand, I mean, that is a game changer to me.
So what I've done here is I've just slapped a bead on. This is actually some wire that we have coming up next. This is twist wire. So there are 3 strands of wire that are twisted to get to the size. This happens to be a size 18 diameter wire. So you just wrap this under here, bring it over the top, right where your size is, and then just start your little twist here. And then I'm going to go back up to where the bead is and flip this over so that I can bring all my wire up here. And once you've got this together, then you just have to bring this over, center the bead, and take a little wrap on one side, take a wrap on the other side, and you've got a really quick ring. You could do some other fancy things to it if you're into being, what did they say earlier today, bougie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a couple different
you can be bougie.
Ring samples up here. Different ideas for things you can do with rings. And you can try making one without a mandrel. I've never successfully done that, but yeah, all kinds of things. You can make all different kinds of wraps, and a ring mandrel, for me, a ring mandrel is an essential part of making jewelry.
Right. If you're going to be making rings, you might as well have the mandrel because you're going to need to make the sizes. So it's just a great product to have.
Absolutely.
All right, let me move this. Let me just keep this here.
Are we on the Facebook? Not. Okay.
I'm going to put this back over here just for a second so I can move these out of the way. And one of the things that's really good with this, we're gonna skip a little bit. So with these mandrels, this happens to be the oval mandrel for making bracelets. This also fits in here nicely.
That's amazing.
And with the weight of this, you'll be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. We also have the round one. She's got another one over there. So that one fits in here really perfectly too. This is also adjustable. There are Allen screws in the bottom, and you can unscrew it by using the Allen wrench that comes with the tool. Does anybody have any questions?
Mandrel. I love the bracelet mandrel.
Any questions so far?
See.
We're trying not to go too fast.
Yeah.
But, oh, gift card time.
Gift card time. Ooh, okay. Giveaway time. Andrea Williams. Oh, there we go.
Row. Congratulations, Andrea.
Robert.
Hey.
Yay.
Behind the scenes.
Glad you made it. Oh, this thing, so when I first started as a host at Jewel School, you kind of have to find your own tools and supplies and stuff. It's kind of like, I spent 2 weeks like gathering my supplies that I felt like I would need to make my jewelry, and I could never find a bracelet mandrel because everybody, hoarded their bracelet mandrels. We had them on the show a couple weeks ago, and I grabbed one off the cart, and I'm like, we all have like engraved our names in the bottom of it so people can't take them away. But it's just, it is so much easier to like form bracelets, and you can make earrings on your bracelet mandrel. If you want to make some hoop earrings, you can use your mandrel to do that. I find it's a good way to store my jewelry too, because you don't worry about it losing its shape. See how this one's kind of like, it's gotten like warped a little bit, so we can just put it on our mandrel and roll it down and give it a nice push. And then I'll flip it over and do the same thing again the other way. And there we go, it's back in a circle. So that's a great, here, we'll do this one too. This one's really bad. So I tried everything besides buying a mandrel. I got PVC pipe from Home Depot. I've tried everything, and because when I went to Savannah College of Art and Design, and I studied metals and jewelry, so I didn't have any money, but I wanted things that I could form, bracelets on, and so I bought not PVC pipe, but the galvanized steel pipe from Home Depot. It's just not the same as a mandrel. So we have got both the round and the oval. Let's see, the round is $34.99, but remember, everything is 15% off. So I probably would have cried in school if I had been able to get a mandrel at that price. It would have changed my whole career, probably. Not really. But yeah, we are mandrel lovers. It's a great way to move from like wire wrapping into some more complicated techniques, especially if you're going to be doing any soldering, anything like that. What's up?
Question for you two. Will that hold any mandrel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I don't see why.
Pretty much.
Go ahead and say that.
Yeah, I think this, so we had a question about whether or not this mandrel would hold, or this stand would hold any mandrel. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. I have not seen a mandrel, except for a neck mandrel, because it's not, you don't really need to hold a neck mandrel, but I think, so we had some issues with this one because it's round at the bottom and it's got this little holder, but we just took that off. You can just untwist it like this, but this little hook is great if you want to hang your mandrels up to store them, but we just twisted that off, and then it fits perfectly on there. Most of your steel ring mandrels have a flat bottom, so they're going to slide right in there and fit fine. Great question though. So what were we talking about? Oh, if you're going to be doing any kind of soldering or anything like that. Oh, the stand is $71.99, and then 15% off of that. So it's a great investment, great tool. But yeah, I love my mandrels. I think they're super important when it comes to making jewelry. And there's just a lot of things that I couldn't do without a mandrel, or couldn't. It's really hard to make circles, like perfect circles. It's hard to draw perfect circles. It's hard to make them out of wire. It's hard to form them, but you don't have to worry about that with these mandrels. And you can hammer as much as you want on these things. You're not going to damage them. You can use your chasing hammer. You can use a rawhide mallet. You can use a brass hammer. You can use your regular old hammer from your toolbox if you want. But you're not going to hurt these things. Super sturdy. These are solid, well, not solid, but really thick steel.
Solid enough.
Solid enough. Yeah. What are you doing?
Well, I'm working on the next little phase here, and I'm gonna use the mandrel. We don't have any thick wire here, so I'm making a thick wire. So I've used 2 of the 18 gauge twist wires. And I've twisted them together, and now I'm twisting those together again. Hopefully I'll have a nice little piece that I can make a little oval mandrel, or oval bracelet, so that we can show you just how easy this is. So get this guy, don't knock anything off the table. Gonna set it up just like that, and you want to start. And I don't know if you know that these little packages of the wire, you can make dispensers.
I did not.
So that you don't have to take them out.
Oh my gosh.
And so they always, you know what wire you've got.
I did not know that. That's amazing.
So here we're just gonna put this across. That just keeps doing that, doesn't it? Got a hum there. So
we have visitors.
I'm just using my hands
galaxies, maybe,
to get this to go here. And then just clip off one end, and the other end. Then do a little more bending, and see how this stand the stand is so heavy and the mandrel is so heavy that you can just do all your work without having to worry about knocking it off.
Yeah.
And voila, you've got a cuff bracelet.
And then if you want to flatten it out, we've got, with your chasing hammer, we've got these bench blocks. So one thing, you could kind of hammer this flat on your mandrel by tapping it down, but it's really hard to get that even and not just continue to stretch your bracelet. So we have these bench blocks that are steel, and they're completely flat, perfectly flat, really smooth surface. And you can just tap with I would probably use either a chasing hammer or a rawhide mallet. But just continue to hammer. And flatten out your piece. And this is going to work harden your piece too, which is something you want to do when you're working with soft wire. The more you manipulate it, the more you're going to work harden it, and so hammering is a great way to do that. Even if you're using a rawhide mallet, you will work harden it so that it doesn't get. It's a lot harder to warp and bend after you've hardened it.
And what the hardening actually is you're compressing the metallic molecules.
Yeah.
Which is a little side tech thing that I always like to add.
Yeah. So if we had just left that like that, as you put it on and as you wear it, it's just going to continue to stretch down your wrist. The shape is going to warp, but if you get it really hard, through work hardening it, it's going to retain its shape a lot better. Too small?
Too small for me.
Are we on Facebook yet? Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see who's on streaming. Ooh, lots of you guys. Lots of our regular Jewel School followers are on here. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's see. I'm gonna get this out of the way.
Shall we go to this?
Yes, let's talk about the neck mandrel.
All right, so there's some beads that are coming up in the next play, but I just took two long strands of the 22 gauge twisted wire, and I just did this little braid with these beads, and I made a choker with it.
That is
Well,
so cute.
the choker is kind of straight because as you're braiding this and moving the beads. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Free stuff.
Free stuff.
Free
Woohoo!
stuff, giveaways.
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good seeing you too. Bead Bistro.
Oh, this is a free giveaway from Bead Bistro right over here. Thank you guys. Ooh, that's exciting.
All right, who's getting
I wish I had entered into
Pick a
the.
name.
Oh, there's the name bag. You
Oh
want to
well,
pick this time?
you're carrying the bag. You're carrying the
Okay.
bag, so you can then
I
just.
can be bribed. All right. This is going to Tina Van Dusen.
Hey!
Yay! Congratulations.
All right, so back to my little necklace here, and we're gonna put it onto this necklace.
So you were saying because when you braid it out,
Yeah,
it's
it's
super
gonna be flat.
You just get a stick of a braid.
Right, and so this you can then just start to bend in on this mandrel to make it just form fit just like you need it, so that when it goes on a neck, it's going to be much closer to following the curve, the natural curve of your collar.
Because you would hate to put it on and it'd be all wonky up here
Right.
on your neck and be
Unless it happens to fit one of those necklaces that are just
Oh,
like
my bracelets?
tighter than tight.
Either Susan or Katie made these, but these you have to have a bracelet mandrel, and you gotta have some good nugget stones, which I think we have we have the 1 pound mix of drilled large hole gemstone nuggets. I think you can find all of these in the nugget mix, but yeah, they're just wire wrapped onto a core, a piece of really thick metal that they formed with the bracelet mandrel. Yeah, they're beautiful. Super easy, super fun. It's kind of like the same, looks like a similar technique to making a ring, how they did the wrapping. Okay, so you formed that, you got that
so
nice and straight on
now
your neck
it's
mandrel.
and it's angled, so it's a little tighter at the top and a little more open at the bottom, so that it'll fit the neck line just right.
So
Great tool.
Yeah. Another thing I love about the neck mandrel is if you're making something that is going to sit on your chest isn't like flat. You know, it has a curve to it. Your body has a shape to it, and it gets more narrow as it goes up. And so, especially if you're making things that are like plate like this for your chest, or things that are gonna like hard shapes that are gonna rest on your chest, you want to form them as close to the shape of your chest as possible. And that's what you're going to be able to do with a necklace mandrel. And you can hammer right on this, just like your bracelet mandrels and your ring mandrels. Looks like, I think Katie made this, cut this shape out of some sheet wire. And then, so it would have been flat, totally flat, and it would have stuck off funny on her chest had she not formed it onto a neck mandrel. So you just would take the flat piece of wire and place it kind of where you would want it to sit on your neck on the mandrel. And then you're just gonna hammer this either this hammer or a rawhide mallet until it sits down really flush on this metal. And then another thing she did was she textured the edges of it. So I'm gonna turn my chasing hammer over and I'm gonna use the ball, and I'm just gonna tap the edges and texturize the edges. You can texture the whole thing if you want, but I'm just gonna follow her design and add some texture. And you would need your neck mandrel to do that as well, because if I turn around and try to texture this on a bench block, I'm going to ruin my shape. So you want to do all your work on the neck mandrel to retain that shape that you want. And here's another one with wire that I'm going to unclasp that. So it's gotten, because I brought this in my suitcase, it's gotten a little warped. So we're going to, I'm going to hammer it back to kind of a necklace shape. Like this side is sticking way up. So I'm going to, so what you also, when you're working with a mandrel, you want to kind of stabilize the metal with your hand, because if I just do this without holding it, it's just going to bounce around here, and it's never going to form to the mandrel. So I want to stabilize it with my hand. And then usually I like to hammer both sides of whatever I'm hammering. But that's kind of hard to do with the neck mandrel. But we've gotten that a little flatter and a little more like the neck shape that we're going for.
This mandrel, by the way, is $46.99, but you guys, until midnight tomorrow night, can get an additional 15% off. So you're going to put that, you're going to get that at home for, I don't know, somebody needs to do the math.
I can't. I can't.
15% lower than $46.99.
And then I'll be held to it.
So it's definitely under $40. Yeah. So this is a great tool to have if you're making any type of necklace, really.
Yeah, and if you want to, like if you're adding chain to the back like this one, it's hard to know how much chain to add to figure out where it's going to sit on your chest. Not that this is like an exact replica of the sides of my chest, but you can kind of get a feel for how much chain you need to add for it to sit up really tight, or if you need to add a little bit more, move it lower down on the mandrel. But it's just a super important tool, a great tool to have as a jewelry maker. All the mandrels are something that I could not make what I make without them. They've been essential.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, okay, so you want to do the bead mix?
I do want to do the bead, well, one of the bead mixes.
One of the bead mixes. We got
Before
nuggets,
I dumped them
nuggets.
and it was a disaster, so I'm going to...
Oh, that wasn't, you much better job.
Yeah, well,
we had
these
like
are
a cascade
these are bigger
of beads.
beads.
Last time. Oh, these are bigger beads. What
Much
happened?
bigger.
Okay.
Well, this is the first group.
Oh, cool.
Large hole
Look at those
gemstone
bad
nuggets.
boys.
And
Very
I mean,
cool.
when we're talking about large, we're talking large.
Yeah. These
See,
are
where's
big
something
boys.
that's that we know what size it is? How about a pair of pliers?
Okay.
So there you go.
Ooh.
Gigantic, nice big hole through there. So
Yeah.
you'll be able to use wire, use leather,
in here?
use just all kinds of stuff.
We got some rose quartz. We got some, I don't know what that is. This is really pretty. Ooh, this would be a really pretty pendant. I love the is this fluorite?
It could be.
That's pretty. Yeah, that'd make a pretty little pendant.
Yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff in here.
Yeah.
It must be amethyst,
Mm-hmm.
rose quartz, most likely.
Yeah. Everybody loves rose quartz.
Yeah, it looks to be a 2 millimeter hole.
Yeah, you can put it on leather too.
Yep. Oh, 3 millimeters, sorry.
Oh,
3 millimeter hole.
dang. That's
Something
a big
wrong
hole.
with my eye measurements.
There we go. Oh wait, no, that's the YouTube. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the YouTube live stream. I don't know how to see the comments on that, so sorry.
I'm no help when it comes to that stuff either.
Yeah, I don't know how to see the comments. Okay, so somebody's looking at the comments. So if you have any questions, somebody will see it. So tell me, so this bead mix is $34.99 plus 15% off, or minus 15%.
Minus 50.
Plus minus, I don't know.
Kind of want to see it on the table
These
too.
are huge. Yeah. Look at these. Look at that one. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I can see all kinds of wire wrapping up and around the sides of those.
Yeah. Let's see. I wonder if any of these are.
Shall we show them the other one now too?
Yeah. So we have another mix.
We're breaking the rules.
This is the one that went.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna
wave
save myself this time and kind of do this. I still did it.
Too fast,
Okay,
Robert.
there you go.
Too fast, Wyatt. Here, it's a giveaway. If you can find the beads on the floor, you can keep them. Oh, this is a great mix. I love this mix.
Yeah. This is a
you got
pound also.
A lot of turquoise, a lot of, ooh, that is cool. I don't know what that is, but that's really fun. This mix is $39.99 minus 15% off. Oh, I want to make a ring out of that. Look at that. This is mine.
Okay.
So, what kind of wire do you have over there?
I only have twist wire, unfortunately.
What gauges do you have?
18 and 20. I can steal from
No, that's okay.
Sarah's
18 or 20
bag.
is fine.
I've got some from Sarah's bag that's 20. What color would you like? Sarah, we're stealing from your stuff. We see Sarah there waiting to.
Oh, hi. Let's see.
What color? Red, purple,
You guys
gold,
pick. What color? With
rose
this,
gold,
With this really pretty purple stone.
green. Oh, I have a dark purple.
Ooh,
And I have a light purple.
I like that one.
Oh, that's actually a blue.
Yeah, but it's bluish. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Ring
What gauge
mandrel?
are these? Yeah.
These are 20.
Okay.
Well, I gotta get in on this too,
Yeah,
I
so
think.
let's make some jewelry.
All right.
All right. So when I make a ring, I'm a guesser. I'm not a measurer. Unless I need to be a measurer, like if you're setting stones or making bezels, things like that, but I'm a
Or if you're
guesser.
paying for the wire. We get the wire for free. Everybody else has to pay for it, so we can be just a little more lenient on the.
Way to call me out.
Well, I do the same thing.
On TV.
Yeah, well, it's we get the
Anyways.
wire.
So I get like if I'm gonna make a ring, I get like 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet of wire. Wyatt. All right. So I'm gonna get it straightened out. This is like one of the first things I learned how to do when I learned how to make jewelry. At Susan, our main host on Jewel School, she used to own a little bead shop in Knoxville, and I had never made jewelry, never even thought about making jewelry, but I saw an ad that she was hiring, so I went in and applied and got the job, and this was one of the first things I learned how to do. Hey, I need that.
I know. There you go.
So I do a crisscross. Whoops, I crisscross too much. Okay, I'm gonna crisscross here. So I get nice tight corners. I picked the wrong color because you guys can't see it. Well, okay. And then I'm gonna open that back up a little bit, and I'm gonna slide it on my.
I'd be willing to bet these guys can get a picture.
Yeah.
Of that, right?
And I'm gonna pull that tight on my mandrel. So when I'm doing wire, like heavily wire wrapped rings, I make it a size up from what I want it to be. So if I want a size 7, I'm gonna make my ring at 8, because the more you wrap, the tighter the inside of your ring gets, and so the tighter it's gonna be on your finger. You can stretch it some, but
not the best idea.
we said hi to Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Oh, there you are. You're on the big
she's up
screen.
there. There's
Okay.
Sarah. Woohoo!
Somebody
These
use
guys
this.
and their technology, I love it.
I was like, why? Okay, so I'm gonna use this little stabilize this stand while I do this. Unscrew this off. It's like the world's longest screw.
Into a plastic base?
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna take that off. And then, let's see. I heard, I know.
The things you hear in the bead show.
So I've got my ring on my mandrel, and I'm at about an 8. So I'm gonna wrap over this way twice, wrap around my mandrel twice, come back, and then I'm gonna hold that kind of in place, and I'm gonna wrap twice around the other side and come back up. And then I'm gonna kind of push all those together. And then I'm gonna take my either left or right, doesn't matter which one you wanna start with. And while I've got it pulled tight on there and I'm holding my mandrel, I'm gonna wrap around my bead this way. And then I'm gonna wrap around my bead this way. And give that a nice tug. Pull that in there tight. And then I'm gonna then now I can take it off my mandrel, and I'm not gonna worry about it coming undone. And so holding it with my hand, I'm gonna take these tails and I'm gonna wrap them around the shank that I just made and around the piece of wire that goes through the bead. So I'm gonna do that about 3 times. So I'm gonna wrap 1, and try to keep these coils kind of as close together as possible. You can go back and move them, but it's just an extra step. And see, I just overlapped mine. There we go. And then, so that's 3. So then I'm gonna turn it over, and I'm gonna do the same thing 3 times. Go, and then I'm just going to clip that tail off, and I always clip on the top side because you don't want any kind of a jagged edge down on the underneath side where it's going to rub against your finger.
Unless you're making it for somebody you don't like.
You are sick.
No, we just say that.
And see, now,
you know you're making it for somebody you love.
Now I'm sitting right at like a 7. I can probably manipulate, push this down to like 7.5. But I'm just going to use my hammer to tighten this up a little bit. And then I'm going to take it off, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do the same thing so that the inside of my ring is, it doesn't get narrow on one side. And then boom, this cool little ring. So I'm going to wear that the rest of the Hi. Okay. Beading wire? Okay. So, you wanna? He works at Beadalon, so.
Well, most craft wires and artistic wire is a copper core, so that's where it starts. And then there's colors on the outside that add to what you're designing. So when you're using any of these wires, Colorcraft is a brand that is something that Beadalon had a long time ago. It went away when we bought artistic wire and then came back after that was done. So they're both still just copper core wire with a coating on the outside. Some of them are silver plated, and then the color coating goes on over that, and some of them aren't. And what was the other?
Beading wire.
Beading wire.
Like the stainless steel core that's like, it's super flexible.
So that's not something that you would make something like a ring or something out of.
It doesn't
that's
hold
something
its
that
shape.
you string. You string on it.
So it's like really flexible,
Correct.
stainless steel cord that's like braided, and then it's got a nylon coating around it, and you use that for stringing beads. It doesn't keep its form or anything like that. It's super thin, super fine. So beading wire is kind of a totally different purpose than the wires that we're using here today. I hope that answers it. Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Giveaway time.
You want to pick another one?
Oh yeah. Laureen Lash. Yay! Congratulations. Laureen gets a gift card. Ooh.
I did an
Very
asymmetric one.
Oh, look at you. You're so cool.
Great big one.
Yeah. That's really cool.
I wonder
like that.
if we're ever going to find all the beads that I dropped.
I don't know. When they take this thing apart, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Okay.
Very cool. Oh, so he's using the little set of the pliers that are in the show. This little glitter, the glitter pliers. They're so cute. They've got these glittery handles, but these are Beadalon?
These actually are not Beadalon,
okay.
but Beadalon had pliers
Yeah.
similar to this.
These are great, nice. I'm just looking at the chain nose pliers right now. They feel really good in your hand, and it's got a really nice fine point to it. Some chain nose pliers are too thick at the end and kind of stubby, and it's hard to get into really fine, really small places. And they sometimes can leave marks on your work if they're not polished or small enough. You end up denting or scratching your pieces. What you got there?
Well, these are some of the beads,
Oh, the
but
beads
there's
you
a
used to make this. Yeah.
yeah. So let's see. I gotta. We need to clean house.
Here.
People that know me know that I'm pretty messy. So
Oh,
this
no.
is usual.
My desk at work is like, it doesn't matter what I do. I cannot keep it clean. It's like I look at it and things just explode out of their containers onto my desk.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Like
these beads.
since I started at JTV, it's just like every week my desk gets a little bit messier and more full of stuff. And our host manager, Margaret, came by and she was like, your desk just keeps getting messier and messier. And it was like, I'm sorry. But I mean, as a maker, we all know it's like I know where everything is. It's a mess, but I know where everything is. I can get it immediately, but it doesn't look so great. So
yeah, so I have most
cool.
of them. Yeah, it's really nice, and they've got nice big holes too.
They do.
This goes really well with some of the wire that's in Sarah's show that's coming up.
Oh,
so,
very
well,
cool.
actually, no, this is the twist wire.
This is the twisted wire, yeah. So can you show us how you made one of those links?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just, let's see, you need a round nose plier as well as, well, I don't have that exact same size, but use a round nose plier. And let's see, you make a quick little turn with your wrist, like that. Then bring this back around, regrasp, go there, grab your chain nose plier, hold on to the loop, and then I wrapped 2.5 times, 1 and 2. And then you cut this, drop a bead on.
I like that you work from the spool, or you work on the spool. That's a good way to save your wire if you're working directly from the spool instead of cutting a length and then whatever you have extra is just waste. Scrap.
Yeah.
Well, I
usually keep it on the
this is
on
a great
this
way
spool, but I wasn't quite ready for that, which is good. And then on the other side, you're going to do the exact same thing here. You need to be the same distance so that you have 2.5 wraps, which sometimes is okay and sometimes you miss, but that's all right. Just bring this around and then grasp with this, and 2 more wraps. 2, 1, 2 and a half. Now, once you get to this point, you're going to snip, and then you're going to use the chain nose plier to just come in here, and because there's 3 strands of wire in here, you're going to just kind of crunch that up a little bit to just get those little ends in there nice and tight without marring the wire too much, but you don't want it to stick out because it can catch on all kinds of things.
Oh yeah. Those, whenever I don't do that and I make a pair of earrings, it gets caught in my hair and it pulls my hair. Oh. All
right.
Oh,
can
cool.
you get down here real close? So you can see this is the wire that matches those beads, and then I just grabbed the 18 gauge, and this is 20 gauge. The bracelet's made with 20 gauge twist, and then the other one is 18 gauge twist.
Very cool. So show me what you did with that emerald. We've got these really cool chunks of emerald, and the great thing about JTV is we can get you really high quality stuff for not crazy prices, and that's what we did with these emeralds. We have these Brazilian emerald nuggets, and they're huge, they're beautiful, and one of these big huge nuggets is $29.99 minus 15% off, and for an emerald I think that's an amazing price, and you get to say the name emerald. This is an emerald, and everybody wants to work with rubies, emeralds, and sapphires, and now you can. And this is such a cool wrap that you did.
Yeah, what I did with this is I used the twist wire, and this one was drilled. So I lucked out because it has a beautiful drill hole right through it, right there. And I put a wrap through it, and then I did some wraps around itself. Made a big enough loop, and then used a pair of bail making pliers to carefully twist it so that I could get a straight on bail from here.
So cool.
And then I left these 2 little wires, I don't know if you can see that, right there. See that little straight wire right there? What I did on the other side is I just coiled those up so that they go right in there.
That's a really cool way to handle where you cut
excess,
your wires off
right.
and the excess. Yeah,
You
so
gotta
you're
hide
not
it.
wasting it. And instead of just tucking your cut ends under, turning them into kind of a focal point on your jewelry.
And how I do that is I just take my glasses off, get closer to it, sorry for moving so much, and then get a little turn done, just like so, and then start to just twist it around, get that started, and then continue to twist it to make a nice little coil. It can have a hole in the center, or it could be tightly coiled from the center.
Very cool.
And just wrap these and kind of stack them on one another to make a really nice looking little finish there.
Nice. That's beautiful. I love that. That's very cool. So yeah, we've got those emeralds. We have another polished nugget, emerald nugget for $29.99 as well, and again 15% off of that. So we're getting some requests. I think people can see that we've got this knotting tool in the show. Oh, we have a giveaway first. Oh, we got to put more names in. And then we're going to do a giveaway.
Thank you.
Okay, it's your turn.
My turn? Okay, shake them. Do I have one?
Yeah.
Enter to win Mrs. Dorothy F. Holst.
Yay!
Yay! Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Okay, so we're getting requests to see this guy, and I do not know how to use this. I am a strict, and my coworkers will attest to this, I'm a strict pearl knotter with tweezers. That's how I know how to do it. That's how I was taught how to do it. But apparently there are much more efficient ways to do it. And so, Mr. Wyatt, I've been waiting.
I'm going to need the
He's going to need
silk.
all this stuff. I have been waiting to come here with Wyatt so he can teach me how to use this thing.
This thing.
And convert me to this.
This would be the not a bead.
I'm like a tweezer snob,
Yes.
I guess.
But there'll be a time when she and I will have a race, and we'll see about this tweezer thing.
It's not about how fast you can do it.
Oh,
it's
yes,
about
it
the
is.
quality. No, it doesn't matter if you do it fast. If it falls, if it's the knots aren't close, then it doesn't matter. He claims this thing. You can get your knots tight up with your beads.
There's a couple of YouTubes you can go back and watch where I challenged the woman that owns a store in Hawaii, a bead store. And she challenged me to a
race?
knot off. I smoked her.
Well.
And yes, the knots were fabulous.
You're gonna have to convert me. It's gonna take some.
Yeah, one sitting. You'll be
awfully
converted.
confident.
I am. 40 years of this.
Okay, I'm gonna cut your. Oh, you have pearls. Okay.
Well, they're not pearls.
Or
they're beads.
Okay,
so.
he's gonna use the beads, so I don't have to open this up. But we have this really beautiful graduated strand of pearls.
Yeah, I just don't think the silk is gonna fit that.
Oh, okay.
Because it's number 8 silk.
Yeah, probably not. We're gonna do beads.
Might even be big for these. Or small for these.
This is a really pretty strand of pearls now that I'm looking at it. I really like that. I would like to knot this strand of pearls and wear it. It's beautiful.
If you use the knotter tool, you could do it in 10 minutes.
I'm so mature.
You do know that I have a signature knotter tool, don't you?
No.
Yeah, that has my signature on it. It's available at JTV, by the way.
Oh, aren't you fancy?
Okay, so I'm used to doing this at trade shows, so I can show you from the wrong way. You would have this facing you.
See, this is going to confuse me. Okay.
Well, no, not really, because you're going to have to probably do that
there.
eventually. So you just bring this up here and tie an overhand knot, then make sure and drop this back behind.
It didn't make a knot, though.
Oh, it's because I didn't.
I'm like
ready
to pounce.
Right, so you're going to drop it down here from
so
the
drop
back.
It down from the back, okay.
Tie the knot.
Okay.
Drop it back down the knot. And you're going to pull this straight up, just like that, nice and tight. And then you're going to push this over here and bring this into here, into the yoke. Pull back, nice and tight, and then very carefully pull this out. Okay? So not a real tight knot. I haven't used one of these in probably a year, because this one is easier to learn how to make the knots, but it's not quite as. You've just got to pull nice and tight, and then slowly pull this out.
Are you pulling as you're pushing that?
Yeah. See.
Okay, so that was tighter.
Yep. And the nice thing is you can do different shapes and stuff on this, and they can be very large. Go to doing it manually. So this is just a knot just like that. Drop it back behind.
Wait.
Make sure and tie the knot. Bring it up here. Tie the knot. Drop it back through. Pull straight up. Dance this over. Put it into here, pull nice and tight, and then retract this and keep pulling so that you can deliver that knot nice and tight.
Yeah. That's pretty.
So again, it's not the fastest way to do it, but it's one of the easiest ways.
But I bet when you get really good at it.
Yeah, you can get going quicker.
You can go. So one thing I do like about this, one issue I have when knotting with tweezers is it's really easy to start shredding your cord with your tweezers, especially if they're not super high quality knotting tweezers. You can shred your cord, and once you start shredding your cord, you might as well start over. And this, I don't see any way that you would do that on here.
Yeah, no,
which
you're
is super
not going
cool.
to.
Yeah, you're not going to shred your cord.
So in the kit for this also. I think we're into, there's these.
Can I try?
Yeah. 1 second.
Okay.
This is a little spacer. So you just put this on where you want a space.
Huh?
Yeah, you put this on where you want a space. This is supposed to be slit. Yeah, it's slit. So you put that on just like that. Bring this down to here. Put another bead on.
Don't you need a knot
Nope.
for your bead?
Yes, you do. Thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
Drop the whole thing back here. Tie, oops. I think that's got a problem. Let me see if this will go through there. I see the rungs here.
Maybe the other one. Here. I think you have to, I don't know.
No, it should go all the way through here. There we go. All right, so we're going to tie the knot first, like we're supposed to.
Uh-huh.
Bring this through, drop it down. No, we already had a knot.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Okay, take that knot out. Slide our spacer down here. Drop the whole thing through there.
Oh, so it's,
So it's an automatic spacer in a 3/4 inch and also a 1/2 inch.
oh, so you get perfectly even spaces, like
Right.
if you're doing a satellite necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this you just pull this up, let it, I open it up. Just having a little trouble. Always when it's live.
Of course. That's really cool, though, this spacer.
Yeah, it really
That is really super helpful. Because if you're like me and you're a guesser when it comes to lengths and stuff like that,
Yeah,
you end up with all kinds of different spaces between
and
your
sometimes that's
beads.
okay.
Yeah,
You know, sometimes it looks good.
if that's
but-
what you're going for.
right.
But if you're going
If
for
you're going for
evenly
perfect.
spaced knots, it's not good. Yeah, okay, so while he's getting that set up, I just want to remind you guys of the times tomorrow. We've got 10:30 maker panel interview, 12 o'clock live show with Wyatt, Robert, and I, and 1:30 I'm doing a live demo, and 2:30 we have our Rockstar Designer Challenge, and that you do not want to miss. That's going to be fun. I am loving this ring. It's so fun. It's like a weapon. It's really got a point on it. Oh, dun dun dun.
Ooh.
Are
I have a
those?
Here comes
$25
Robert.
coming to somebody right here.
$25
Okay.
holler?
Well, I'll do it.
Yeah, you do it. Do it.
I'll do it this time.
Carol, Snooks, where are you?
Yay! Woo! Congratulations.
I can't get this to work.
That's okay. Anyways, does this one work? None of them work. Neither of them.
No, they need to be just a little bit more sliced.
Okay, I want to try knotting. I want to try
Okay.
without this thing.
Okay.
I want to try. Oh, we've got a knot. Okay. So I'm just going to
That's right, you
pretend
can
like
just-
that's our space.
Yeah.
We made our space. Okay. So I drop this bit in the back.
Mm-hmm. No.
What?
So you drop it down the back, okay, and then pick it up from the front.
Oh.
Tie the knot there, but not your usual knot. You need to tie
Where,
just an
is
overhand
this
knot.
bead on coming out up
That,
here?
yeah, it comes out there. So you hold on to that, yeah, and then tie your knot. Then drop that back behind, and then pull straight up. Keep pulling up. There you go.
Do I need to hold this
Uh,
while I'm? No, that doesn't help.
No, not really.
Okay.
You just get it nice and tight,
Oops.
and then fold that over there and pull. And then if you hold this with your hand like this, so you have your thumb on the plunger, and then pull nice and tight, and then pull back slowly, so that the knot has a
Oh, I
chance.
think I went too fast.
Yeah, you need to go slowly.
Yeah.
Another
That's
bead?
pretty cool, though.
Here's another bead.
I like that. Okay. Ooh, we've got we're running out of time. See how fast I can do it. Okay. Dun dun dun.
There, tie your knot,
Tie my knot.
drop it back to the back.
Drop it to the back.
Yeah, don't tighten that knot.
Pull this
Yeah.
guy up. like this.
Yep.
Slide it over. Okay.
And then pull nice and tight and slowly.
Cool. Look at that. Oh, that's really cool. That was fast. That was super easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're one step closer.
I would use this. I would.
Yes.
I really would. I would use this. This is cool. I like it.
Excellent.
Very cool. And I like that it's like safer for your silk than tweezers.
Definitely.
Because I mean, I have like gotten huge strands of pearls knotted and I'm like an inch away from the end and I shred my silk and then I cry and then I never finish the project because I'm not willing to start over. So just can't do it. All right. Are you guys ready for Sara? We are. We have our Master Maker show with Sara Lovecraft, who is an incredible designer at JTV. She's going to Skype in with us. Hi, Sara.
Hey, how are you?
We're good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was having a good time watching you guys not beads there.
Yeah, that was fun. We wish you were here with us.
We do.
We do.
Me too. Me too. I'm sorry that I'm missing it live, but I'm happy that I get to be here via Skype. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So tell us what you've got. What do you got planned for us today?
I've got a show full of beady goodness today. I've got lots of really cool things for you guys. I've got beads, I've got Chinese crystals, I've got chain, I've got a little bit of everything, so you definitely don't want to miss anything in today's show. And those of you who might not be familiar with Master Maker, I focus really heavily on components such as clasps, spokles, specialty findings, and of course beads. And I show you all of the really cool ways that you can take those things, those really cool components, and incorporate those into your jewelry making. So today I'm going to start out with some really cool beads. I've got a pound of mixed beads, so we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. Are you guys ready to go?
Great.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you guys turned
ready to go.
around. All right. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so everybody just kind of bear with me there. All right, so I've got a pound of multi-stone mixed beads in assorted shapes and sizes. And if you guys have been hanging around Jewel School for a while, you know these are super, super popular. It's like a treasure hunt every single time you get these because there's so many different shapes and sizes and a ton of inspiration here. There's a lot to look at. And immediately, of course, I'm drawn to the larger pieces. Of course, there are some amazing things. And every single one of these parcels, I just want to let everybody know, everybody's are different. So if you get more than one of these, you're going to get two treasure hunts. You know, to me, that's what makes these so much fun, is to get to go through them. And I always ask when we have these bead mixes like this, if you are a sorter, or if you just work from the mix itself. I tend to be a sorter, but I know that that some people like to just draw the inspiration straight out of the bowl or the plate, if you will, depending on what you've got. I've got mine in a bowl at the moment, but I was drawn to this amazing heart that was in mine. There are a lot of really beautiful pieces in here. Tons and tons of inspiration. There's so many different shapes and sizes. A lot of really fun little pieces. I like the ones that are shaped like this, that look like little hourglasses. There were some of these in clear in mine, and some in this beautiful amethyst. There looks like lots of rose quartz and just lots of deep blues and purples in here. So this is a really nice mix. And we're going to use a little bit of this later on. So don't forget about this one. I do want to mention to everybody who happens to be watching us via the JTV Extra website or the JTV Extra Facebook page, that you guys can click on the links and check out all of the items in today's show. And also want you guys to know that you can get an extra 15% off of everything. This is a really special Bead Fest promotion that ends tomorrow night at midnight. So everything you see in the show, you're going to get that extra 15% off. You definitely want to take advantage of that as you're watching and throughout the rest of today and tomorrow until midnight. All right, so you've got all of your beads here, and now you're going to need a really cool surface to work on, right? I've got a non-slip bead mat that you guys are going to love. This one's huge, and I think that's what makes this one so special. There's a lot of cool things going on with this. In fact, I don't think the whole thing is going to show here. I'm going to have to raise you guys up as much as I possibly can here, and I'm still not going to be able to fit the entire thing in. It is 11 by 14 inches. This is a Bead Treasure non-slip bead mat. And it's really cool because look at this. It's got this rubber surface. You can take the whole mat out here. So you've got the flocked surface that you can use is really good for keeping your beads from rolling around. But then you've also got the rubber mat that you can put down. So technically you've got two workspaces in one, because you can take this out, sit this to the side, pour all your beads in here, do your creating here. The little lip on this is going to keep all of your beads from rolling off the table. And then of course the grip on this is going to keep it on the table as well, which is really cool. I'm really hard on bead mats. I know for I know for sure that it's coming across on TV because Julie just sent me some bead mats and I was like, I think that's probably a pretty good indication that my bead mats are worn out, because when Julie sends them to you, it's like, okay, I get it. I get it. This is a really cool one. This is going to be a nice one that I think is going to last you a really long time for sure. Really, really love this. So we've got a great surface to work on here, and it's got a couple of different things that make it a little bit different than just your regular bead mats. We've got your bead sizes up here at the top. So as you're working, you can, you know, measure your beads against something here, so you don't have to guess, you don't have to grab anything to measure with. And then again, down at the bottom, we also have a ruler that's on here, which is really nice. I used to have a ruler that was taped down to my work surface, and I used to get like shards of wire and just snippets of things that I was working on underneath it. This is really nice. You don't have to tape anything down
every so often, and it's like covered in shreds of wire, shards of wire.
Having that is super helpful. Crazy. Oh yeah, for sure. Love, love, love this. All right, so I'm actually going to leave mine here, and we're going to use this because it's nice and clean, right? Nice clean surface here. We're going to use for the rest of what we've got in the show. I've got some chain. Do you guys like to use chain in your jewelry designs? I tend to use a lot of chain.
What did you what?
Chains.
Chain.
Do you like to use
chain?
Chain
is a staple for me. I can't, like, almost all jewelry I make has chain.
Me too. I'm the same way. I love chain. It makes it's a great way to extend the life of your beads. Like, say, you know, you've got a short strand of something, but you want to make a full necklace out of it. The chain is a great way to like really kind of extend the life of a short strand of beads. So I've got Figaro unfinished chain with the findings. So this comes with a little package of the findings as well. So you don't have to dig through your own stash to find the findings, but you get this in 3 different colors. So you're going to get it in this really beautiful kind of rose gold coppery color here. And of course that's in 3 different sizes. And then in the gold color as well. And these strands are really nice and long. So in total, there's 36 pieces, 36 components here. So you're getting all of the chain and then all of the findings to go with it as well. So this is going to last you quite a while.
That's a ton of chain. That's a really great mix.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. And I've got some metal beads coming up here in just a little bit that match.
Oh, nice.
This chain really beautifully. Yeah. So lots of really cool inspiration in today's show. So I've got lots of chain here. You can see you've got the 3 strands in the silver color, the 3 strands in this like rose gold color. Though I do think this rose gold would look really good with copper as well.
Oh, yeah.
You definitely can use it as both for sure. And then the gold color. And you've got nice large links with this so that you can absolutely add beads to this. You can use your jump rings and, you know, make like cha-cha style designs out of it. You can cut this up and use it in shorter increments for your jewelry design. So it's really, really nice.
Hey, Sarah, are those links open? Like, can you pry the links open, or are they soldered shut?
That is a good question. Let's take a look here. So I believe that these are open. Yes, they are. So you can take your pliers.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and open those up. So you don't have to worry about, like, you know, because it's pretty thick chain. You don't have to worry about ruining your cutters by cutting through it. You absolutely can just take 2 pairs of pliers and twist to open each one of the links. So that's really nice for sure. All right, so I've got lots of chain. Let's talk about some beads because I'm all about the beads too. What fun is the chain without some pretty beads to go with it, right? So I have Chinese crystals. These are some of my favorites. I'm all about the baby bead, and yeah, these are they're so pretty. So I've got Chinese crystal glass faceted beads. Guys, these are baby beads. They're so tiny and so pretty. They're 3 by 2.5, almost 2.5 millimeters. So these really are little tiny rondelles. These are going to make amazing spacer beads, but they also look really beautiful all by themselves. So I use these in some upcoming finished pieces that you guys are going to see. I'm going to show you how to use these little guys as a helper, but also kind of an accentuating feature when it comes to wire wrapping a briolet, because that can be kind of tricky. But you can use something like this that's small and beautiful to really kind of help make wire wrapping a briolet easier, and also just make it even more pretty. So you've got, let's see, there are 8 assorted colors here, and these strands are nice and long as well. So this is quite a few. We've got like 2 different kinds of pink here. One that's more of like a kind of a milky pink, and then the clear pink. We've got a green, a nice aqua blue, a clear, a white, a different kind of a more of a green blue, and then this nice like cornflower blue. So these are really pretty. These are perfect for spring. I love this color palette that we've got going on because they work really well with each other as well as individually. So really, really beautiful. Like I said, they're going to make great spacers, but you can also use these.
Hey,
I think
Sarah,
one of my very favorite ways to use these. Yeah.
we've got a giveaway. You want to help us do our
giveaway? Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, Robert, do you have it?
I have it. 25 beans. I need a name.
25. Oh, I have it. Oh.
That was funny.
Here we go.
Terry Johnson. Where are
Woo! Yay!
you? $25.
$25 gift card. Congratulations.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's really cool. Very cool.
Cool, cool. All right, we are back with Sarah. Oh, and it looks like you've got some more pretty beads.
I do. I have got some multi-stone round beads. These are 6 millimeter beads. This is a set of 10. I love these. I love these. And that 6 millimeter bead, I don't know about you guys, but for me, that 6 millimeter bead, a lot of times that's like the sweet spot. You know what I mean? It's like the universal size. It goes really well in so many different designs. So I'm always excited to get a 6 millimeter bead, particularly in a round. Like, not that I don't love a good shape on a bead, but you know, like sometimes you just want a really nice. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's the perfect way to look at it. It's a great foundation bead. So I've got, let's see, 10 different strands of these. And let's see, we've got 2 strands of the amethyst here. We've got a strand of lapis. We have the red tiger eye, which is one of my personal favorites. I absolutely love that. We have the white magnesite. We have...
What is this little pink and purple one?
Ooh, this one right here. This is the multicolored quartzite.
Oh, that's
so pretty.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, I really love that one. And then we've got, let's see, we got the rose quartz, of course. Let's see here. We've got the blue. I'm going to mess up the list here. I was going down the list and then I...
You'll fit right in here.
We have curveball. Yeah, and the one that I always mess up the name, you're gonna have to help me with this one. This one is the demortierite. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly or not, but I can tell you that it's a really beautiful blue.
Demorterite.
Demorterite? How do you demorterite?
Demorterite. There we go. Thank you. I knew I was gonna mess that one up, so I'm glad that you guys were there to help me. But I've got 10 strands of these, absolutely beautiful. And guys, don't forget that 15% off promotion. That's only good until tomorrow night at midnight. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that. Very special for Bead Fest.
Yeah.
I've got some little
All right, I got a
components
couple
here.
more things to show you.
Sarah, I've got some components here that I'd like to show if we can. With those beads.
Yes, absolutely.
So down here,
Ooh,
I have what I started. I started a necklace just with a quick little thing that I think you guys will like. All you need to do for this is choose your wire, choose your beads, then use your pliers and do a quick little thing just like this. And you've got your little component.
Oh, cool.
So from that, I added beads on either end to make this. I started to do a pair of earrings. And then I thought, ooh, wait, we need to have a little necklace. So got started with the necklace.
That.
And I used the blue out of the color craft wire that we'll be using tomorrow. I thought that was today, but it's tomorrow.
Very nice.
So, and then I just did some regular wrapping on the green with green wire. And then a fun little swirl thing that's going to end up being an earring.
Cool.
I love that. That was the perfect color wire for those beads too.
Yeah,
it's really beautiful.
The colors turned out really, really good.
Yeah, they're beautiful. It's a great match. I like the dark blue with the light blue beads. I think that's really pretty. Show us what.
So that's all I have for that.
Well, thank you, Wyatt. I'm excited to see what Sara made out of her products. It's always cool to see what one maker makes with the same thing, and then give another maker the same stuff and see what each of us come up with. So let's see what you got.
Right. So I have a component. We've got a component in the show that I kind of mixed with some of these other beads. So let's talk about the component really quickly, and then I'll show you some of these finished pieces. So I've got the multicolored oval glass connectors. This is a gold tone set of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ones of these. I've only got the 2 colors here because I used the others in some finished pieces, but I did use some of the beads that we just talked about just a second ago. So we've got these really cool components, and then just to show you, I used some of those little baby crystals and some of those beautiful blue beads in those strands here to make a drape style necklace. So you can see I used several of the little baby beads here and then draped those between these really cool components. You can see these are the ones that are in that turquoisey color with some of the beads that were in that 10 strand mix that we had just a second ago. And then a little briolette right here. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second. But yeah, just a little inspiration for you, if you will. These components are really cool. They are, they're flat on the back, not completely flat. They obviously have some texture back here, but they lay really nicely up against your skin. So you can use these in a lot of different ways. They've got 2 connectors on either side. So you can use these in your bracelet designs. You can use them in earrings designs. You can stack them up. You can use them as drops in necklaces like I've done here. A lot of different really cool things that you can do with them. I've got a couple of finished pieces here that I'm going to show you where I used these. So I've of course shown you this piece here with the draped little baby crystals that we showed you guys just a little while ago. And then just for a little more inspiration, I put these together. I started this out as actually a bracelet project. And then I thought, you know what? I think this makes a really cool necklace. And so that's what I actually ended up turning this into. So I had taken some of those white magnesite beads that were in, again, those strands that we talked about just a little while ago. And again, I started out thinking, this is going to be a really great bracelet, which it would be. It makes an absolutely beautiful bracelet. So you definitely could finish it off that way. But I thought, it would definitely make an interesting focal for a necklace. So I just added some chain to it and some more of these little briolettes that I'm going to show you guys how to wire wrap here in just a few minutes. I've got these briolettes coming up in different colors. Have you guys had a chance to work with any of the briolets that are in the show?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not today, but I've used them a lot. They're great. They're great. The way they're drilled, they're not. You've got enough space at the top above the drill hole that you're not cracking the tip off of your brio, which I think is a lot of it. A lot of people have that issue, and it kind of stops people from working with them because it's so easy to break. But not with these. These are great.
Sarah, I did a little something
absolutely.
with those components also. I didn't quite get finished, but I used the head pins that you've got too.
Yes.
So it started out to, I saw it and I thought, ooh, that needs to be like a cameo. And so I put the head pins on and then put some of the pink coming up the sides. And then I've got to still do a wire wrap to go through here and then put some more beads on it. So just
that's really beautiful.
Take.
It's so regal looking, or
yeah,
royal,
it
or
looks like it looks like something much
very
more
fancy.
than you know what these cost, which is like the clearance price is $19. So does that mean that there's 15% off of that too? Wow.
Off of clearance price?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
So let's take a look at these
that's
briolets that we were talking about. So I've got the briolets. I just made a mess out of my little piles here. That's all right. I've got the briolets in let's see, 5 different colors. There's approximately 175 of these total, which can I just say is a ton. that's a lot of beads to play with. And what's really cool about these is that several of these work really well with the other components that I just showed you, these oval glass connectors. So they're definitely going to work with each other. Those pinks look beautiful with the pink. We've got some red here. I used this kind of light champagne color with some of the white. So they're really going to work with a lot of the pieces that we've already shown, but a ton of these briolets. And I used mine just to show you guys. I made a little pair of earrings. Now I say little and I don't really mean it that way. I mean little in a loving way, because these are actually quite large for an earring. So you could definitely turn this into a pendant instead if this was too big of an earring for you. But I talked at the beginning of the show about how we could take some of those little baby crystals and use them to help us wire wrap these briolets. And I'm going to show you how to do that, because I feel like the briolet is one of the beads that people struggle with the most when it comes to wire wrapping them. So I'm going to show you with some of the pink. I've got the blue done already, but let's do this with some of the pink here. Let me move everything
Sarah,
out of the way.
Before you get started, I just want to give a shout out to Elena. We have Elena watching all the way from Greece, which is so cool that JTV is all the way in the country of Greece. I mean, we appreciate you joining
That's
in.
awesome.
Tell your friends. Tell your friends to
Absolutely.
come watch. So we just wanted to say a quick hello. Do we have a giveaway?
Robert's
Do
got
we have a giveaway? Okay,
Got a
we're going to do a giveaway real quick.
You know the day is getting late when I get a microphone, okay?
Oh.
So I understand that it's getting late. I have a microphone. You know, some people are taking off to go home. So we're just going to give something worth over $100 now, okay? So I just need a name, and then
Here, Wyatt.
get your hands out.
Oh, he's really digging.
Oh, this is important. Stacy Strachan, is that right? Stacy, are you here? Must be present to win.
Stacy.
Okay, I'll take this home. Let's try another one then.
Okay, I'll do this one.
Okay.
Tina Van Dusen.
That's number 2 for Tina.
Oh, wow.
It's a good day. See, it pays to stay, doesn't it?
Congratulations, Tina. That's a great prize.
There you go. It's heavy, isn't it?
You're going to have fun. All right, Sarah, we're going to come back to you. We're not going to interrupt you again for a little bit. We'll let you do your magic.
No, you're totally fine. All right, so I have all of those beautiful briolettes, and I pulled some of the pink ones and one of those pink components out here. And I was going to show how easy it is to wire wrap a briolette when you insert one of those little tiny crystals.
Oh, how cute is
Part
that?
of the problem, right? Part of the problem that people have with wire wrapping a briolette is the space here in between your wire wraps, because you're going to wire wrap to secure your wire, and then you're going to do your wrapped loop. And making these two sets of wire wraps meet each other can cause a lot of frustration for people. So in order to break that up and actually turn it into two separate sections makes it a little bit easier. It kind of takes the pressure off of you when you're worried about lining those wire wraps up completely perfectly, right? So I was just going to show you really quickly how to do that and make things a lot easier on yourself. So I went ahead and cut myself some wire. I'm using some 22 gauge German style wire. That's my go-to for wire wrapping just about anything, but you definitely can use your artistic wires for this as well if you want to do colors. I'm going to take really only need about 3 inches of this, but I have more in my hand than I actually need. I'm going to take my briolette and I'm going to thread that onto my pre-cut piece of wire here. And I'm not going to drop that to the middle. I'm actually going to keep it over here to the side so that I've got a shorter piece of wire and a longer piece of wire. My longer side being the side that I'm going to do most of my wire wrapping with. But I'm going to take these wires one at a time, and I'm going to, starting here with my shorter wire, I'm going to bend it so that it is following the natural path, the natural kind of curve of the tip of that briolette. Now, this trick is going to work with any shaped briolette. It doesn't matter if it is shaped like these with the nice little pointy tip on them, or if it's more of kind of a rounded tip. This is literally going to work with anything that is drilled at the top. You can even use this with like your quartz chunky pieces that are kind of uneven at the top. You're still going to treat it the same way. All right, and then just to make it easier on myself, I'm going to flip this over in my hand, and I'm going to do the same thing with the other wire, just kind of bending it and guiding it along the natural curve of that bead. And so what happens is now my wires have crisscrossed right over the top of the bead. And you'll notice that that crisscross is not touching those beads. There's still enough room here for that wire to wiggle around. That's really important, particularly when you're working with a bead where the tip is nice and pointy, because like we mentioned earlier, you don't want to break the tip of this off, right? And sometimes with briolettes that can happen. With these are nice and sturdy because they've got that nice kind of thick top on them, but you definitely, regardless, want a little bit of wiggle room in there. So we've got a longer wire and a shorter wire. I'm going to take my chain nose pliers here, and I'm going to take that longer wire and I'm going to give it just a slight bend so that it is standing straight up from the top of that bead. So you really kind of want to center that with the tip of your briolette bead. And then I'm going to take the shorter wire and I'm going to give it a bend so that it is going straight out. So we're making like an L shape with our wires here. All right, then I like to use my bent chain nose pliers for this, but you can use your regular chain nose pliers. It's whatever you're comfortable with, but I like to grab hold of that little space right underneath where my wires are crisscrossing, but making sure that I'm not touching that bead with my tool. I mean, I can be touching the tip, but you don't want to accidentally grab the tip of the bead, obviously. And you're going to take the shorter wire and you're going to wrap around to your longer wire about 2 or 3 times. 3 is really more decorative. You really only need about 2 wire wraps to really secure that, but you're going to wrap that around. And then you're going to come in with your cutter tool and you're going to trim off the excess wire. Now, this is where people tend to get aggravated, if you will, with wire wrapping a briolette, because the next step of this, if you're not going to insert a bead, is to actually place your pliers right up against those wire wraps and create a wrapped loop. What happens is where you place your pliers, you still have that regular measurement that happens when you do a wrapped loop. That's enough for at least 3 wire wraps. That means you've got 3 wire wraps coming from the top to the bottom that are meeting up with these wire wraps that are coming from the bottom to the top. Making that look seamless is really, can be kind of frustrating. So to take the pressure off yourself, use one of these little baby crystals. drop one of those beautiful little Chinese crystals right down on top of those wire wraps. And now you've broken up your wire wraps and you no longer have to worry about them looking seamless, right? Because now we've got a bead in between there. So now the next step is a step that most people learn, you know, in the beginning of your beading journey, which is to make either a wraps loop, or you can even cheat and do a simple loop here. Nobody says you have to do a wraps loop, but if you're going to do a wraps loop, you don't have to worry about those wire wraps being seamless. So we're just going to bend over the top of our pliers. We're going to come in with our round nose pliers, and we're going to take that wire up and over the top barrel of the pliers, and then we're just going to rotate those in our hands so that we can take the wire all the way over to close up our loop. And then we're just going to wire wrap in that space. So now those wire wraps are going to meet the top of that little crystal instead of the other wire wraps. All right, so we don't have to worry if they're not absolutely perfect. And then you just come in with your cutter tool and trim off. All right, so you've got yourself a nice little wire wrapped briolet, and it's got a little extra sparkle to it where we have added one of those little Chinese crystals to it. So doesn't take away from it. Does add a little bit of length, but I can't be mad at more sparkle. I just can't.
No.
Add more crystals to it and I'm happy. Now I will show you, if you don't want to add the crystal, right? I can show you one more thing. What do you guys got going on over there on your table though?
Wyatt?
I did a few little things with these. The brioles.
A few little things.
Yeah.
He did some very cool stuff.
So when I was looking at these, I saw that I needed to make like multiple ones in ear posts
That is so cool.
that like hang down under your ear.
Oh, those are so pretty.
And so you just did you use 20 gauge wire or 22?
20 gauge.
20 gauge. So that's a really great size for a post. So he just bent the wire back into a flat shape and made a little earring post so you can wear them like studs.
Yep. And then another one was fewer.
So cute.
Just to use them a little
I
differently.
love that.
And then here's another 4 one where the wire is a little bit looser. But the beads are all, you know, held in place and they're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then there was some other, I actually made a pair of one. And these are the little head pins.
That's
but
so cool.
Instead of looking, you know, at the brioles dropping, we've got them pointed straight out.
Cute.
Whoops. Sorry, Eric.
It's okay, Wyatt.
Those are so pretty.
And then here's a couple of other little ones, just with a little loop in here, with the other color.
I love those. Those are my fave. But I don't know.
Yeah, those are so pretty.
I like these too.
And then one little pendant.
Cute, cute.
With a pink bead in there as well, and then with the crystal pointing straight out. I don't know why. I just
so
didn't
pretty.
want them to drop down. I wanted them to be pointing out, and the only way you can do that is just to kind of wrap the back of it with a piece of wire to hold it in place.
Yeah. Very cool. You're
So
smart.
pretty. Very creative. I love it. I
The
love it. That's
wire
awesome.
master.
All right, so I'll show you one more way. So if you don't want to use a crystal, I can show you one more way to wire wrap these beads that are, and again, it's going to work with any kind of top drilled bead. Same steps as before. We're going to start out exactly the same. We're going to have our little shorter piece of wire and our longer piece of wire, and we're just going to bend those to follow the natural path of the wire here, and then on the other side as well to make our little crisscross. Now, we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did before. We're going to come in with our bent chain nose pliers, bending our wire, one of them upwards, one of them straight out. And then you're going to go ahead and do your wire wraps. Now, this is the cheating technique which comes in handy if you don't have some little crystals or other beads to put on the top here, and you still want it to look wire wrapped. Now you're just going to cheat. So we've got what looks like the beginnings, of course, of a wrapped loop without the loop. But we're just going to take the wire. We're going to bend it. You can either bend it forward or bend it to the side, depending on which direction you need your loop. And then we're just going to do a simple loop on the top, and nobody's going to be able to tell the difference. So we're just going to trim that off. You're going to leave yourself about 1/4 of an inch of wire. You're going to use your round nose pliers to grab that. And then you're just going to roll back to close up your loop. And it looks like you wire wrapped.
That is such a good
with
idea.
a wrapped loop. Yeah. And you very easily, you know, open and close this because it's a simple loop. So you can just twist to open and then twist to close it back. And you can attach it to whatever you want to. But you still get that nice, clean, seamless look of wire wrapping a top drilled bead. So without the hassle. Right? Without the hassle.
I don't even think that's a cheat.
I feel like that
I think
really
it's just a good idea. You know?
The younger people call it a hack.
We don't have to call it
It's a good idea. I mean, I love it. I love that you can open and close the loop on that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes it a really fun way to use these as a cha-cha for sure. You know, add these to your charm bracelets or whatever. Yeah. All right, so if you wanted to make a pair of earrings with your wire wrapped beads that you've done here and your component, you can just take, I'll show you with this one, just a series of jump rings. Of course, you can wire wrap these directly to the component if you want to, but with these, I just used some jump rings to attach. So I used a jump ring for each one. But you could take your jump ring and have one jump ring with more than one of your little dangles on it if you wanted to. But I'm just going to attach these here to the component. And again, I realize this makes a large earring, so you absolutely could turn this into a pendant if you wanted to.
Yeah, that'd be a great pendant for sure.
Especially mixed with some of the chain that we had in the show, you can make a really nice necklace using some of that beautiful chain that we had. All right, so I'm just going to put 2 on each one of these loops on the bottom here just to kind of make it nice and full. And then I'm just going to use a couple of jump rings at the top. So we've connected those. Oh, whoops, forgot to put the dangle on that one, but I did close the jump ring. So we're going to open that back up, add our dangle to that. Close that back. All right, now at the top here, since we have 2 loops here because it's a double connector, we need to bring that down to a single so that we can, of course, add our ear wire to that. So a couple of jump rings on either one of those, right? 1 jump ring per loop. And then just taking a single jump ring to go through those and add your ear wire, and you turn these into
smart. I would have looked at that and thought, oh, I can't make earrings because it's got 2 loops at the top. But that's such a smart workaround.
And it doesn't really take away from the component too much either.
No.
Right.
If you use nice and small jump rings, they just kind of disappear into the component, so you don't really notice that that you've done all of that with the jump rings, but. Yeah, super pretty. Would make a great pendant on some of that amazing chain. Or again, like I've done here, if you like big earrings. I love big earrings, so I definitely don't shy away from these at all. Put your ear wire on here. A lot of really fun ways that you can incorporate these 2 hole connectors into your jewelry pieces. But we're not done. We've got a couple of other things. Wyatt has shown us a couple of them. So you got kind of a sneak peek into some of the other things that we have in the show. I've got 2 more things to show you guys. I've got some more beads. Now these, I mentioned these before, are going to look really good with that chain that I showed you. Ooh. So I've got a round bead kit in 6 sizes in silver and rose gold. There is approximately 1,000 beads here, and these are in 6 different sizes. I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but that's a ton. that's a lot of beads. That's a lot of inspiration right there. And I personally am a huge fan of metal beads because they look amazing on their own, but you can use these as spacers. Again, a really great way to kind of extend the life of your gemstone strands, or your favorite crystals. Maybe you've only got a handful of them. You need some spacers to really kind of make them stretch. Metal beads is a great way to do that. And the rose gold color is so pretty. It's so pretty. Let me show you with the chain. It almost matches.
This is how they come when they ship to you, so you can kind of see like the volume a little bit better in this bag. It's a ton of beads and such a great assortment of sizes. You got your little teeny tiny baby ones and your bigger ones. I mean, the possibilities are endless with this
Oh yeah,
bag of beads.
Big bag of beads.
Yeah.
It is a big bag of beads for sure. For sure.
Hey,
and then
Sara,
last up in, yeah.
do you want to know a secret?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I get to know a secret.
Well, you're going to know too. I have a secret. I'm going to be joining you on Fridays with my own JTV live show every Friday at 9 a.m.
Everyone's been asking
Oh
me
my
to get Wyatt demo. There's your answer, everyone.
That
and
is
it starts
fantastic.
one week from today.
Yay!
So I'll see you
my
Friday
gosh.
mornings. Get your cup of coffee.
That is awesome.
Cup of coffee or a
Oh,
mimosa, whichever is your thing. And we're
Love
gonna
it.
sit down and make some stuff. So
That's awesome.
it'll be great to be
That
in your
is
presence.
so exciting. I'm so excited. That is wonderful news.
Thank you.
How exciting is that? Well, oh wow, I don't even know how to follow that.
You stole the show.
He did, in the best way.
Just for a second. Oh, those were killer.
I've got these flower head pins, you guys, and I think this is really interesting. So I have a note here on my show plan that I have to share with you.
Let's hear it.
It says 4.6 million individual head pins were sold.
Oh my gosh.
And what was that? Yeah.
In
that
2021,
was,
we sold
and it-
4.6
in
million head pins. Holy cow. That's how
That's a
important
lot.
That's a lot of
head
head
pins are
pins.
to making jewelry.
that is-
Hey, Sara, while we got a giveaway. We're gonna do real quick before you show us what amazing things you did with those head pins. Oh,
Awesome. Let's do
I
it.
am terrible at this job. I'm gonna give this to you because I. Ooh, Carol Snooks. Oh, again! Woo! She got a gift card.
Congratulations.
Nice. Congratulations. You've got some shopping to do. Lucky lady. All right, Sara.
All right, back to you, Sara. Sorry.
Headpin time. Look at that. That's
So I've
beautiful.
got a ton of head pins here in 3 different colors. They're in the silver color, the gold, and the rose gold. There are 300 pieces. That's a lot. That's going to last you a long time. That's going to last a really, really long time. Or maybe not. I mean, I
Maybe not.
if you use them like I do, I could probably go through these pretty quickly just because I'm a head pin kind of person. But I mean, realistically, that's a ton of products. So these are super cool because they've got the little flower on them. And Wyatt's already shown you a lot of different cool ways that you can use these outside of just your standard use of head pins. But I love it because it's like a little cap right at the bottom of your bead, right? And you can turn these sideways. You can incorporate these in so many different ways. Like I just used them in the standard way, and I thought, well, maybe that is not the best way to show them off. But I got to tell you, they still show, and they're still really beautiful just to use them like a standard head pin. So I just used a few of these in this little design here. These beads came from that mix that we had at the top of the show. If you're curious,
beautiful.
all of these
That's
beads
beautiful,
plus the
Sara.
lapis from those strands. Yeah, and then just using those little head pins, it was just the perfect little pop of metal.
Here are the little
Right at
ear
the
wires
ends.
or the ear posts that I did.
Those are so
I love
cool.
those.
I love that.
And the other dangle ones. I agree with you, Sarah. These are amazing. I got these out and it was like
You almost
yummy.
hate to hide it under a bead.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just making some little dangles with them. I made so we had a leaf motif of these head pins on the show a couple weeks ago, and I made some cha-cha earrings out of them. But what I did was I bent the head pin up so that it was kind of flush with the flower or the leaf, like that, so that I could make a bail or a loop on top. And then I was able to make a really cool set of cha-cha earrings because they're facing, you know, outwards and not down underneath the whatever bead you have. So then you've just got a little loop and you've got a little charm.
I love
whatever
that.
you want with it.
I love that. That's brilliant.
those on the chain would be
Wyatt?
great. Yes.
Would you be willing to show us how you made the blue earrings that you got there?
Sure.
Yay! Yeah, I'm excited to see this too.
You gotta look at it for a minute. Okay. Now I
You gotta
remember.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I
No,
was
it's
like,
okay.
those are so cool.
I hate when that happens.
These head pins are they're so great. So what I did is I first bent up. Get these out of the way. There's a place on the head pin that's going to look the best, and I just kind of push this over and flattened it out just like that. Okay, let me get these out of the way. I always have stuff behind me. So I just, instead of having it be sticking straight up out of the bottom, it's just bent up. Then that goes into the crystal, and then this gets turned to the front, and then very carefully I just wrap this around like so, and go all the way around, and then come to the end, kind of square it up, then make the ear post and make it come straight out of the top of the briolet, just like so.
Oh, cool.
Okay?
I love that.
And
love that.
Then you've got to work harden the wire. So I'm just going to turn this, work harden it nicely, just compressing that so that it gives you some tensile strength. And then cut. And then I would use a wire rounder on the end of that so that it's not sharp.
Right.
And you can add to it. I think I added a few more wraps on these, but you don't have to if you want it to be a little more minimal.
Very cool.
Great camera work there, Eric. Looks great.
So cool.
Love it.
But just a little bit of manipulation of the wire, and you can really, you can make it do what you want, basically.
That's so cool.
And that's a briolet earring.
And that's one thing we love to do at Jewel School is kind of look beyond the standard function of something like a head pin. And it's like a challenge for us. Like, what else can I do with this? How can I use this in different ways? And these head pins for sure are a great way to do that. There's all kinds of things you can do with them.
Here's a failure.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
I'm a
What
failure.
happened?
I was trying to make a little bouquet, and this bouquet didn't make it to the place.
I like it.
But-
You can give me that bouquet. I'll take it. I'll take it home.
There will be a bouquet of those though before I leave this.
So if you
this
made
show.
like a cha-cha ring, like if you did like this and made a cha-cha ring, it would definitely look like a bouquet,
Right.
for sure. All right, Sarah. What else? What else are you doing?
What else?
Oh, did I say what up? I did not say that. If it sounded like that, never say that.
So I've pretty much been through a really whoa, sorry guys. I've been through just about everything that was in the show.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of show you guys. Whoops. I'm gonna turn you around here, and we're gonna look back. I just wanted to show you. It's always good to see things on the bust, you know. So I thought we would just kind of look back over some of these pieces here. The necklace that I created that started out as a bracelet that I was going to show you so that you can kind of see what it looks like hanging, because everything looks different, you know, once you actually have it hanging up there.
So
yeah, so those were those beautiful components. Again, just use those sideways, and absolutely would have made a beautiful bracelet. So there's no reason why you couldn't, you know, have continued and finished that out with some more of those beautiful white magnesite beads. I did have some of the briolets hanging on the bottom here, and I did use the little cheat method actually to attach those to the chain there, just to make it a little bit easier on myself. But you really can't even tell the difference.
No.
You would never know unless I told you that those were actually simple loops on the tops of all of those. So pretty cool.
I'm going to use that.
And then yeah, I think it's a great little way to kind of take the pressure off yourself. I think sometimes we worry about the things that we shouldn't with jewelry making, you know, and there's always kind of there's always a fix or a hack, if you will, you know, for things like that. This was that drape necklace that I showed you guys at the very beginning, where I used all of those beautiful little baby crystals, the little briolet here in the middle. We've got some of those blue, beautiful beads from the strand, in the strands that we had. And then, of course, I finished this off with some of that chain, because we had a ton of that chain in the show. And the chain, like I mentioned, is a great way to really kind of extend your pieces. And chain is one of those things, particularly this one, where you can open and close the links. This is a good one where if you don't even know what size, you know, you need for your piece, say you're going to sell to a customer or you're giving to a loved one, you can always kind of adjust by opening and taking off some of the links, which is really, really nice. So great for necklace links. You know, you can make it nice and long, or you can make it shorter, and for bracelets as well. So you could have even taken some of that chain and draped it here in the front with some of these crystals to give it a little more something. There's a lot going on here, but I mean, more is more as far as I'm concerned.
More is more. I like it.
There's no such thing as too much in jewelry, I think. Yeah.
Exactly. And then just to show one little piece here where maybe less is more, right? A little bit of that chain and some of those beautiful metal beads that we had in the show. It only took 3 pieces of chain and 3 beads, right? A couple of findings. You got a really trendy on-style necklace design that you can layer with other pieces, or you can wear it by itself. Totally up to you. And I didn't take a lot of materials. For me, that's really important. I mean, I know for those of you who do like craft fairs and booths and things like that, you definitely want to try to make your materials go as long as you can. So the less I use, sometimes the better. And this is definitely one of those pieces that, you know, I didn't take a whole lot, and I've still got plenty of beads left over and lots of the chain left over too. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, that's pretty much it from me, you guys. I appreciate you guys letting me be a part of Bead Fest. And as always, thank you guys for joining me for Master Maker. And I'm so excited about Wyatt's new show. That is fantastic. A lot of really fun things going on here at JTV Extra. It's really exciting.
Thank you for joining us, Sara. We, I think we all learned a lot. We saw a lot of really beautiful designs, as usual.
Thank you.
I've never seen one of your shows that I thought, no, I wouldn't make that. I love everything you do. So
that's good to know.
Well, thank you very much for joining us and letting us crash your show a little bit. So let's see, we got a couple more minutes. You got what do you have over here?
What's
going on?
I have a complete and total mess. That's how I work. I don't have much else here. I don't know that we showed this ring.
No.
Let's
talk about it.
This has got some of the some of the beads that we had earlier,
those Chinese crystals.
The Chinese
yeah.
crystals.
And that
again,
twisted wire.
The twisted wire. And so I just used, I believe it's a 22 gauge wire. Did a double wrap under here.
I love the little cluster on top.
Yeah.
And I love how like organic it is because it's really hard to mess that up. So
Right.
if this is a great way to start with something that's kind of messy and crazy and big, because you can get accustomed to working with wire, using your hands, learning how to bend and manipulate it, and you want it to look wild, so
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about it looking perfect. It's a great way to kind of explore the different materials. And I love the twisted wire. That really gives
Yeah.
it another.
And on the two top beads, I put the 3 wire up through it, cut off one of the wires, and then wrap the other 2 wires down and around the beads.
Oh, so you like captured it,
Right.
kind of.
And then the others, I just took the wrapping wire from the center and went through these 2 beads because I wanted to use 6 beads.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a very nice proportion, you know, the amount of beads and the kind of thinner shank.
Right.
I really like that. It's really beautiful. Show me
And
the other one.
The other one is I took the 3 different colors of 22 gauge wire and I braided it first. So just like a regular braid that you would braid your daughter's hair. And then tied these around and then brought the 3 things, the 3 twist wire up through these and then cut them off, untwisted them, and then made those little tiny coils.
Wyatt, that is beautiful.
I love little coils.
I know, I can tell.
They're just fun.
Yeah, but it's like, it's a great way to end that twisted wire, because when you cut it, it's a
beast.
big chunk kind of when you cut it, and so you got to figure out where to kind of hide those. But with that, you don't have to. That's so cool.
It just so happened that the wires that came in the wire kit are about the same color as the beads in the Chinese.
We did that on purpose, I'm sure. That is so cool. I love the braided shank. I love braided wire. I think it's a great way to add a design element to your piece without with a technique that most of us know how to do. You know, most of us know how to braid.
And it always looks like it's harder to do when the wire is twisted. And braiding this was really easy. And the 3 wires, the 3 22 gauge wires together braided, then gives you a pretty firm, ring shank.
Because these are dead soft, right? When you open the package, they're dead soft, which means they haven't been work hardened at all.
Well, the twisting does
work
some
hard
of it,
in a little
but they're
bit.
still soft enough that you can braid.
Yeah, that's great, Wyatt. I love it. Well, so we are coming up to the end of our show today. This has been a lot of fun. We went through a ton of stuff. We've got some great products. Don't forget that everything that is in any of these shows today and tomorrow is an additional 15% off. You don't need a code. There's no button to push or anything. It's just going to apply to those products when you check out. So I think we've shown you a lot of great things and a lot of great stuff to do with the things that we've shown you.
That discount stays going until midnight tomorrow night.
Yes, good point.
I remember
Thank you.
that.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. Tomorrow we have got 10:30, our maker panel interview, which is going to be really cool. You're going to get to know us a little bit better.
They're going to ask us some very strange questions.
Yeah, I'm a little scared.
So that'll be fun.
At 12, Jewel School's taking over Bead Fest, Yarn Fest, and Stitch Fest with a live audience show, just kind of like the one we did today, and that's going to be with Robert and Wyatt and I. And then at 1:30, I'm going to do a demo on the stage. It's like a little leather and pearl demo. It's going to be pretty fun. And then at 2:30, we've got our Rockstar Designer Challenge, which is like, you do not want to miss. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interactive with you guys. Some mystery materials. They're being very cryptic about it. We don't know what's going to be in it. Could be,
They mentioned oven gloves.
I don't
for
know.
those of us who can't actually help do it for the people that will be chosen.
I don't know.
So that's going to be interesting.
It's yeah, it's gonna be fun. You guys, we're gonna enjoy it, and of course, we're gonna have lots of great demos tomorrow and lots of great giveaways.
Right.
So don't miss out on tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's starting at 10:30 Central Standard, so we're on Central Time here. So that is 11 Eastern Time for those of you. 11:30. You don't lose time in that change. So that okay, yeah, we're at the top of the hour. So thank you guys so much. We've really enjoyed being here with you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you all.
Surprise! Just kidding.
It's one of those cards. Love those cards. Jerry Van Dusen.
Yay!
All
Woo!
right.
All right. Congratulations.
She is cleaning house.
I know. That's awesome. Well, we're going to be doing the same thing tomorrow. So come back tomorrow, enter your name in, and we'll have more giveaways. All right. Bye.